You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? We are here to talk about Alvin Kamara, week 3 injuries, all kinds of stuff to go over, and then we're taking phone calls, we're answering questions, doing super chats, doing the whole works. I'm sorry I'm a little late today. I had to take care of some stuff on the content side of thefantasyfootballshow.com. If you don't know what that is, you need to get on over there and get your content, bold predictions, trade calculators, rankings, all that good stuff. 365 days a year, those bold predictions are constantly, the rankings are constantly updated. There's no draft kit on the fantasyfootballshow.com. This draft kit nonsense. Hey, I've got a draft kit coming out in July. It's 365. It's year round. I don't have a draft kit. I have a 365 day a year ranking site and bold predictions and articles and all that. Start Jeff Wilson, Hall, Olave, Pierce, or Dotson. I'm going to go with Pierce with this one. I don't know. It's between Hall and Pierce. I think Olave's, safe. They're a bunch of even Steven type calls right there. Ron Navy, Panic Room video was fire. Appreciate you, Ron Navy. If you guys missed the Panic Chamber, get on over there and watch that. Let's get to the news real quick. We've got Julio Jones did not practice Wednesday. The entire wide receiver room for Tom Brady is down and out. You might not have Julio. You might not have any wide receiver, but Perriman and the whole wide receiver room is just thinned down. So don't expect big things out of Tom Brady, although he's capable of spreading the ball around and doing all kinds of things. But that's horrible news. And some people were counting on Julio. He still could play, so keep that in mind. Godwin did not practice Wednesday, so Julio, Godwin both looking like very questionable to unlikely plays for week number 3. Leonard Fournette hamstring was limited Wednesday, but he is expected to go unless he suffers some kind of setback. He will be probably used a ton. This will be a good week to, if he does very, very well, look to explore trading him high. He also could get overworked in this one. The hamstring's bothering him. Maybe Rachaad White makes an appearance. I'm not saying to start White or anything like that, but if Rachaad White's on your waiver wire, coming into a game where they maybe overuse Fournette, and he's got the hammy issue, he's playing through it, Rachaad White is a guy you want to grab. You don't want to leave him out there. I know a lot of you keep picking him up and keep dropping him, and I understand the dilemma of having a very small bench, and I get it. I'm not an idiot. Okay, I understand that. I know not everybody can pick up Rachaad White, but I'm telling you, Rachaad White is going to be something at some point this year. He feels special. He feels special. Rachaad White has I think it's in the top 5% all time in percentage of his offense and usage of his offense and in college football. And so just bringing that kind of astronomical type of statistic to the table here, that he's the highest percentage, one of the highest percentages of his offense in the history of college football, in recent history, and he comes into a situation where they lean on the running back a ton. You could say this is a positive for Fournette. He's 80% of the snaps, or the workload, he's involved in 80% of them. So he's in the offense being used, running around all over the field. Fournette has a big role, and that's why I absolutely love the Rachaad White situation, because if Fournette goes down, and I strongly believe he's one of the bigger injury candidate players right now go forward, Rachaad White will be leaned on. So I absolutely love the idea of rolling with Rachaad White and making sure he's on your bench stashed away, all nice and snug. Dobbins was a full participant in practice, but that doesn't mean he's going to play. That's the weird thing about this J.K. Dobbins situation. He's just not ready. I think they're worried about him getting hurt. His knee was mangled. This was a hamstring tear on top of a ACL and other ligaments, meniscus. There was a lot that went on. His knee was mangled. And so he's going to have a lot of swelling. And even though he's a full participant, what happens is your knee has this natural reaction to protect itself. And when you tear your LCL, your MCL, your ACL, your meniscus, and you tear your hamstring on top of that, on the back here, you tear all that, you go out there and you try and do things you can't do in practice. No one's saying, hey, JK, get out there. Let's have 2 of our 300-pound linemen jump on your back and drive you into the ground. That doesn't happen in practice. That does not happen. So he goes out into week 1, let's say, week 2, week 3, whatever, and he goes full go. It's hard on the body. The knee says, wait a minute, time out. Let me inject a bunch of swelling around this knee to protect it, because you're not protecting it. People that rush back from ACL injuries and they're not ready for week 1. Godwin, like I said from the beginning, J.K. Dobbins, these guys coming back, rushing into week 1 when they're not ready for week 1. Soft tissue injuries, other injuries. And so we're definitely looking at J.K. being up and down. Wouldn't surprise me if he came back, had problems, had to sit again, and then some point during the season gets shut down for the year. It wouldn't shock me if maybe the rest is good and he is able to kind of linger along. And the fact that they didn't rush him was a good thing. That could be the case. But at the same time, I'm not trusting J.K. Dobbins. I don't trust him at all. I never did this year, and he's a void. He's still in a void for me. Dameon Pierce, probably one of my favorite buy lows right now in fantasy football 2022 heading into week number 3. I love this kid. He's so strong. He's so violent when he runs. He's aggressive as can be. You can't take him. You can't tackle him. You know, it takes multiple. It's kind of like Javonte. It takes multiple people to band together to get this guy down. He's just kind of shedding one tackle and slowing down until the next guy comes and slows him down, and then they eventually pile on top of the dude. Dameon Pierce is aggressive. He's violent. He's an amazing runner. He's got determination. He's hungry, and they're feeding him more. And Texans coach Lovie Smith said Dameon Pierce finishes plays and gives extra effort. We all know that. We all see that with our eyeballs. What we need is 20 carries. What we need is 18 carries per game. Now, they gave him more carries in week number 2. He delivered about 70 yards, looked very good. I really like buying low on Dameon Pierce walking into the coming weeks. You can literally trade like a wide receiver 3 or a Curtis Samuel who's doing well, a James Robinson. There are ways to cheaply get Dameon Pierce because his owners are frustrated that through 2 weeks they have a mediocre player on their hands, and they don't have patience for him to evolve and get unleashed eventually. I love Dameon Pierce. The Texans are underrated. They can hang with any team at any moment, and they're not going to be blown out every game. They're going to be in the mix, and I think that Davis Mills will look better in week 3 than he did in week 2. He's a great pickup himself. If you need a quarterback and you lost Trey Lance, and Davis Mills is sitting out there, and if he was taken and consumed before week 2, I bet you he got cut in last night's round of waivers because people were disappointed with his 0 TD performance that he dropped in week 2. Don't let that shy you away from grabbing Davis Mills. Need two. Tony Moss, Mostert, Perriman, Dolan. Oh, that's tough, bro. I'd probably say Mostert and Perriman, I guess. That's a really, really tough one. That's a really tough one, bro. That's what you call skating on thin ice there with the options. But you know, injuries are rough right now, so I don't envy you in that situation. George Kittle was limited Wednesday. Convenient that he's coming back right now after Jimmy G's in the lineup. Just so disappointing. Shanahan completely ruined Trey Lance, and it angers me, you know, to the point where like I don't even like speaking about 49ers right now, to be honest with you. Like it sickens me to talk about, oh, Kittle's back, great, fantastic, you know, drive your quarterback into the ground, Kittle waiting on the sideline, you know, oh, I'm back, my favorite quarterback's there. The locker room was divided, in my opinion, anyway. They weren't fully behind Trey, and that sucked. So Kittle's back, yay Kittle, yay. I was gonna hit a button, but I'm not gonna. It's gonna let's make Kittle take a lap. That's for Kittle not being there when Trey needed him. And that's for Shanahan, ruining his quarterback. Mortgaging the future for Trey Lance and then destroying him. Tabern, appreciate your super chat. So George Kittle looks like bearing a setback. He'll be in there for week number 3. This one right here. Alvin Kamara. This is probably the most important one. Alvin Kamara is practicing Wednesday. Looking very likely to play week number 3. He's one of the best buy lows walking into week number 3. I love Alvin Kamara as an escape hatch out of Najee Harris. And let me make it abundantly clear again, because I can't tell you how many times people approach me on this Najee Harris stuff in a way that they aren't listening to what I'm saying. Do not trade Najee Harris on the cheap. Trade him at good value. And how do you do that if he's kind of a risk right now? You trade for another risky player that you feel is less risky, a player you believe in more, a player you feel like the risk is just a better risk to take. And Kamara comes with a lot of risk off the field. The full video gets released. Then what? There's a lot of reasons to be worried about Kamara. Rib injury, ankle or knee or whatever else he was supposedly battling through. And you got to ask yourself, like combination of those things isn't good, right? But Najee Harris has potentially a Liz Frank injury that he re-injured, and we don't really know what's going on. Now, I will say this. You have to make sure if you trade Najee Harris, you are very pleased with the deal even if Najee works out. Let's say all the reporting on this has been botched, and there's conflicting reports whether Najee even re-injured his Liz Frank or just sprained the ankle of the foot that had the Liz Frank injury. Either way, he's compensating right now, which is going to potentially lead to the reemergence of the Liz Frank injury, because compensation injuries are horrible. They always get in the way when you're trying to get over something like a Liz Frank injury, and then you damage the same foot. Now you're compensating. Now the Liz Frank injury is vulnerable again. And that's why ETN's continuing to rehab his Liz Frank injured foot, because he doesn't want to have any soreness return. And that's essentially what Liz Frank does to your foot, because it feels like you're separating here. It starts messing with the integrity of the foot, your ability to explode and use the foot in a proper way, and you're hampered. You just have no use of the foot. You just basically can't explode or do anything with the foot. So Alvin Kamara is just a better risk. There's risk involved, but I go get Alvin Kamara using Najee. But I have people coming to me and saying, I'm going to get James Conner and Curtis Samuel, Smitty. I know you're not high on Curtis Samuel, which I never said. Everybody keeps saying I don't like Curtis Samuel. I like Curtis Samuel as a wide receiver 3. But people are getting rid of Najee for Conner or other risky players and doing really bad trades. Najee Harris commands at least a Deebo Samuel or a wide receiver at that level. Or if you go get an A.J. Dillon, you now can go get an A.J. Brown as well and get a combination. Everyone needs to stop trading Najee Harris under value of an elite player, or at least a combination of players that are going to lead to some elite production. Stop trading him low. I'm not telling you to trade Najee low. You better be loving the deal as an even. You both make out. It's a win-win if Najee ends up playing 17 games and looks healthy all year. You have to love the trade you're making, or you're making the wrong trade. I love trading for Alvin Kamara. He's a fantastic buy low for anybody that's worried about their team. They need to break up a JJ or a Tyreek Hill or a JT because your team can't win. You know your team can't win. When you know your team can't win, you either play for second place or you're honest with yourself and you say, hey, I've had injuries. I didn't draft well. Whatever the case may be, I had a lot of busts on my team. So I've got to trade Alvin. I've got to trade JJ or whoever. JT, turn them into 2 players. This is one of those wonderful players that's undervalued that can be the anchor of your 2 players you're getting for your 1 JT. Go get him now and make sure you buy him before week 3, because I think his value goes up quite a bit. He's got a lot of risk still, but it's risk worth taking if you're in a risky situation anyway. 280 of you in here. Please punch that thumb up button. Looks like we got we got some super chats coming in here. I'm going to pile them up right here. We got one from Aurora, a $20 hauler. That's going to interrupt the show.
Mashed potatoes.
That's going to interrupt the show. We're going to go ahead and read this one now. Team is 0-2 and got a trade offer. Hurts, Edmonds, A. Robinson, Mark Andrews for Carr, Kamara, Pittman, Schultz. My current team, 14 team league, Hurts, Henry, Zeke, McLaurin. Okay, so 0-2, got a trade offer, Hurts and Edmonds and A. Robinson and Andrews for Carr, Kamara, Pittman, Schultz. Oh, okay, let's see. Hurts is a big bump over Carr. Andrews, Schultz. Look, you're getting Kamara and Pittman. I'm taking the Kamara and Pittman side. As much as I love the Jalen Hurts side, I think Andrews, you can recover from that quarterback upgrade and the Andrews upgrade by having Kamara and Pittman. Kamara and Pittman are a lot to get. I would take that trade if I was you. Appreciate your super chat, and that's a good trade. Does everybody agree on that one? Can I get an amen on that one? Would you rather have the Hurts side or the Kamara side? If you could drop a vote in there for Aurora, that would be amazing, because I think this is one that deserves a couple votes. Let's see. King, I have Waddle and Robinson. Chubb for Dillon and Debo. Dillon and Debo's pretty good for Nick Chubb. I would maybe take that if you're looking for a trade. If you need something, I would look to do that. I got an amen from Sack Attack. Thank you, Sack Attack. I got an amen from Eduardo. We got an amen from Michael. Agreeing on the Kamara side. Johnny's amen in that too. Kamara for sure. There you go. Aurora, you got your answer. You got a majority vote from like 7 people in a row. So go ahead and go get that trade. You got a $10 holler from NPR. Thank you, NPR. Allen, Josh Allen, Gibson, Singletary, Hunt, Dobbins. Wide receivers are Kupp, Mike Williams, Bateman, Godwin, Olave, A-Rob, Kelsey, Higbee. Running back needy. Thoughts on Kelsey plus Bateman for CMC and Higbee, or you're playing Higbee. I would probably take Christian McCaffrey if you want to take a little bit of a gamble, but I mean, he's such an injury risk, but I do like the trade overall. I mean, Bateman's really good, but you're taking CMC probably still in the top 8 right now if you drafted over today, I suppose. Maybe some of you wouldn't. I'm definitely skeptical of him, but I think in this situation, this would be a good addition. This would be a good move for your team. I feel like with Kupp and CMC, it's just hard for me to look at this team and say you're going to win it if you don't make some kind of move like that. So I would go ahead and take the gamble on CMC if I'm you. Try and get something else if you can. Like a Pierce or a Kenneth Walker or a Mooney or a DK or something that they may think is a throw-in and you're not even asking for it. Keenan Allen, hamstring, participated in individual drills on Wednesday, so it's looking very decent that Keenan Allen's going to make his Week 3 appearance, which is going to be fantastic. Let's see here. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to get through these in a second once we get through these. I think there's one more piece of news here. Gabe Davis, limited Wednesday, but looking, more and more likely to play Week 3. That's great news for Josh Allen. Great news for Gabe Davis owners. Great news for everybody. But maybe Diggs. I mean, Diggs should still have a great game, but Diggs obviously did really well when he was running solo. And McKenzie and Shakir and those guys weren't taking much from Diggs, was going bananas. So Diggs will still do well, but Gabe Davis, I think people forget how good he is. And so I'm very, very glad Gabe Davis will be back. I love Gabe Davis. I think he's a good buy low right now too, because people are a little disappointed in him. 317 people in here, 87 thumbs up. Please punch that button and Alvin Kamara that like button. QB Cousins, running back 1, Aaron Jones, running back 2, Javonte. Okay, I see what you're doing there, but that's all right. Wide receiver 1, JJ. AJ Brown flexes Diggs, playing with grandmas, playing with your grandma. You're probably playing with my grandma. Everybody is a grandma in this league but you. Maybe Brock Culpepper, you are also a grandma, and you were the winning grandma because this team's fire. My record's 2-0. You bet it is. Why would it not be? I'm thinking about trading AJ or Jones. Should I? I don't know. I mean, this team is absolute straight fire. It depends who you have on your bench. If you could trade AJ and a bench player to go get a Jamar Chase, I probably would do that. I would look for Jamar Chase right now. With this group of grandmas that you're probably playing with, Brock, I bet you they value AJ Brown over Jamar Chase, which I wouldn't really make fun of anybody over, but you got to go get Jamar on the cheap. Go make that trade. You make that trade, you might as well just go straight to the retirement community that you drafted in and say, hey, let me just collect everybody's money now, in case no one's around at the end of the season. I want to make sure I get my funds up front. So definitely Brock, amazing trade. Alexander, appreciate you. Team Brady Cousins. Here, let me put that right here. Alexander, thank you for the super chat. Dan, Ben, I appreciate you. Trade Mike Williams and Schultz for Godwin and Pitts. Mike Williams and Schultz for Godwin and Pitts. That's a pretty close one. I like the Pitts. I like Pitts the most in this deal, but you are giving up 2 players that are pretty good, so that's a good trade. G Money dropping a super chat on the screen. $20 holler. G Money.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
G Money. Appreciate you, G Money. G Money says, Mike Williams, I give JJ Pollard current team. Javonte. Mike Williams, I give JJ Pollard. Okay, so you're getting JJ and Pollard. You're giving Mike Williams and Javonte. Current team is Burrow. Wide receivers are JJ. Wide receiver AJ Brown. Running back Pollard. Running back Pierce. I get Javonte, Mike Williams. Okay. That's a tough one. I don't like you giving up Pollard because that kind of balances the scales a little bit, D-Money. You know what I mean? Like, you're giving up JJ, the best player in the deal. You should be getting 2 players, and you are. You're getting Javonte and Mike Williams, and I kind of like that deal. But then you give up Pollard, and it's like you're kind of trying to balance the scale back, and you're not supposed to balance the scale. You're supposed to be getting the 2 players for the 1. Because what if Pollard is starting, and then all of a sudden he's winning both sides of the trade because JJ's ranked higher than Javonte, and Mike Williams is the free player. So I would say it's not a bad trade, but I feel like you're giving Pollard in like I'm going to ignore that he could be great just to get this deal done. I'm just going to throw him in. Don't do that. Don't treat Pollard like that because Pollard could be a league winner. I would say take Pollard out. I don't think he deserves to have Pollard thrown into this deal. He's trying to even it up. You can't even this trade up. You can't make it an even trade. My Tyreek Hill, Javonte for A.J. Brown and Dalvin Cook. And Madison. Give me Tyreek and Javonte. I mean, I like Javonte over Cook, and I like Tyreek over A.J. Brown. So, like, what are we doing here, Dan? What are we doing here? We're going to downgrade both positions? I don't think so. This isn't charity. This is fantasy football. Okay? Start this week, Wilson or Tua. Tua for right now, until Tua proves us wrong. You know what I'm saying? Alexander with the $9.99 hauler. Team is Brady, Cousins, Mike Evans, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Sutton, Waddle, St. Brown, Bateman, Olave, Darrell Henderson. Bateman again. He's got 2 Batemans. Higbee. My QB's not good. Too many wide receivers. That's because you got multiple players, multiple copies of the same player, bro. If you got 2 Batemans, you might as well trade one of them. If I'm making moves here, I would say trade your single copy of Bateman and Henderson for an A.J. Dillon or a potential. I mean, I don't know if you could even do this. Henderson, Bateman, Olave, throw them all together, bro, and go try and get a Kamara on the cheap. You got to give up Mike Evans and Bateman, or Mike Evans and Henderson for Kamara, CMC, or Eckler. Especially Eckler. I like Eckler most. I'd go do that. I feel like that's what you need to do, is get an Eckler, a Kamara, or a CMC on the cheap. That would be the best course of action for this team, my good broski. I would definitely take care of that and do that live. Do it live. Do it now. G-Money, appreciate you. Alexander, Ben, appreciate you. Danny boy. Who Dat Gator with a $10 hauler. Who Dat Gator?
The moon.
1-1, 12-team PPR. Herbie, AK, Hendy, Hines, Eno Benjamin, Jordan Mason, Adams, AJ Brown, Mike Williams, Curtis Samuel, Garrett Wilson. We see it. We know what's going on here. Want to upgrade my running back 2 using Hendy and 1 or 2 of Samuel, Garrett Wilson, Olave. There's not a lot of running backs that are in this range, bro. There just aren't. You guys are gonna hear me repeat this a lot today because there are just no running backs. The running back dead zone became an even bigger dead zone. It's AJ Dillon, maybe Dameon Pierce, maybe Breece Hall in that dead zone territory. That's it. I'm not liking Zeke. Of course I don't like Zeke. Gibson, maybe if you're desperate, I could go after Gibson, but not with this deal. So if you're trading Hendy and Samuel, Hendy, Garrett Wilson, Hendy, Olave, and Samuel, and you're getting an AJ Dillon, maybe you're trading Hendy and 1 like Samuel for Dameon Pierce because you want to roll the dice, or Breece Hall because you want to be predictive. Those are the best plays at that location. Higgins is the best wide receiver kind of in that territory. It is a weird, like 3rd to 4th round equivalent type value environment in trade negotiations right now, and trade values. It is dry. It is dry in that 3rd to 4th round territory when you equate it to draft value. So good luck trying to get anything different than that, but that's where I would take that. Kyle Pitts kind of falls in that territory where it's like you don't know what to trade for, so why not go after Kyle Pitts then? Drop Gainwell or Pacheco for Rachaad White. I'd drop Gainwell, although monitor him, because if Sanders went down, he probably would get some run, but you do have Boston Scott there, and so I feel like that's too cloudy. Give me Rachaad before Fournette goes in and gets overworked in this game because they have no wide receivers. Fournette could have a huge day. Like, don't get me wrong, he'd be a sell high candidate for me right out of the gate before the whistle even blew. I'm getting rid of him high off that hamstring injury and getting overworked. But Rachaad White could even be introduced a little more into the offense as a receiving threat because they're down so many wide receivers, and he may not play much at all. We don't really know. I traded Deontay Johnson for DK. Hopefully he'll boom. I don't mind that at all. I think Mooney and DK and Dameon Pierce, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, these are all guys like in that dead zone-ish territory, and Kyle Pitts is falling in there, where I'm feeling really good about trading for them or picking them up because people are dropping DK and dropping Mooney. I had 2 people text me this morning, not a ton of people, but 2 is a lot when it comes to this topic, dropping DK Metcalf, or they see DK dropped. And the weird part is both of them are like, should I pick him up? Of course you should pick him up. Like, DK Metcalf is sitting on waivers, you better pick him up. I understand he's disappointing you. I get that it's not the greatest situation, but DK Metcalf on waivers, are you kidding me? That's like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 on the confidence scale. If I was to throw, and you could say DK doesn't look good, whatever, we're 2 weeks in. You throw DK into the player pool. Here's the top ranked pickups of the week for week number 3. Here are the rest of the players. These are not ranked. These are just the extras. Looking at the list here, you put DK Metcalf on this list, he might be the number 1 overall player for this week if you threw him in there. It definitely would be. And I put him at a 9 or a 10 on the confidence scale of being a league winner. Now, you could argue that he's not going to rebound for a while. You can argue whatever you want. But I feel like it is a fantastic pickup if he's sitting out there. And it's crazy to me that he's on waivers. It's absolutely crazy to me. Yo, Smitty, you missed my super chat. Brigham, can you ask it again with the question mark emojis again? Those red question mark emojis, and I'll get to it right now. Smitty, you missed my other chat. Well, I got a bunch of them piled up. Are you sure it's not sitting here under the 20 of them? Ask it with the question mark emojis, the red question mark emojis as well, and I'll get to it immediately, but it might be under this pile. Got offered Adams for Moon Man Javonte. Look, Adams is safer right now. Like, you want to go the Adams route, I'm fine with that. If you can afford this kind of sidestep into Adams is a baller. Like, you're going to hope to get Javonte up to Adams's level right now, and you hope that he takes another step. But look, nothing wrong with going the route of Adams. I panicked, traded A-Rob for Brandon Ayuk. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have A-Rob, but it's not like crazy. I mean, neither one of them are a gold mine. Traded Julio and Everett for Kamara. Yeah, let's hit.
You've just been Smitty approved.
That's crazy. Somebody dropped Elijah Mitchell. Should I drop either Walker or Olave for him? Drop Walker for an injured Elijah Mitchell out 2 months. Why would we drop Walker? Why would we drop Walker, Cannon? I appreciate you. You're my bro. Okay, bro fist. But why are we dropping Kenneth Walker? No. And Eli Mitchell, I mean, pick him up and put him on IR. If your league doesn't have IR, then don't pick him up and hold him for 2 months. No. But check your IR spot. Maybe you can pick him up and put him right on IR and not make any drop at all. So check that out. Make sure that'll work for you. Derek, you crushed that trade. I mean, come on. How did that not get vetoed? Look behind you because the veto police are after you as we speak. They're coming for you, bro. They're coming for you. That's crazy. Bring them. Let me see if you got that super chat. I'm looking for you. It's probably under here, but if it's not, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. I'm getting through them. Waddle, Andrews, CEH for Cooper Kupp, Kyle Pitts, Khalil Herbert. Other players are JT, Javonte. So Waddle, Andrews, Clyde for Cooper Kupp, Pitts, Herbert. Waddle, Andrews, Clyde. Give me Kupp and Pitts by a mile, Caleb. Like that. Punch that and don't look back. That's easy. That's light work, bro. Who wins this trade? Tyreek and AJ Dillon for Eckler and Mooney. Give me Tyreek and AJ Dillon. But I do like. I mean, I like both sides. I'm not gonna say one's like crushing the other, but I do like both sides, but give me the Tyreek side. Should I trade Elliott for Higbee or Pitts? It's like saying, should I trade a $1 bill in Elliott for a $2 bill in Higbee, or a $15 or $20 in hardcore cash or maybe a $20 or $50 bill in Kyle Pitts. Like, I'm going to say trade Elliott for the Kyle Pitts version of this. Yeah, go ahead and Smitty approve that.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Go get Kyle Pitts and celebrate. Go take a big victory lap after you do that one. That's crazy. People are selling Kyle Pitts. This is ridiculous. He's getting cut. DK's getting cut. ETN's getting cut. Not everywhere, but in a lot of grandma leagues, DK, Mooney, ETN, and Kyle Pitts are like getting cut or traded for garbage. Drop Gainwell or Pacheco for Rashad White. I dropped Gainwell for Rashad White. I mean, this is crazy, bro. Did I get that one from Matt, Tyreek and AJ Dillon? Yeah, I got that one. Craziness, man. Craziness. Bailey, I got yours right here. Appreciate you. Forklift guy, I got you queued up. Kyle, I got you queued up. Bailey says, would you trade Wentz and Debo for Herbert and Lamb? Wentz and Debo for Herbert and Lamb. Probably take Herbert and Lamb. Even though Lamb is, a disappointment right now, he's still good enough to like hang with Debo, and Herbert, hang with him. Herbert's crushing Wentz. Even though Wentz is playing out of his mind, I get it. Look, Alex Smith, the year before Mahomes broke out, in his second year when Mahomes became Mahomes, Alex Smith was a top 5 quarterback for like a month and a half. Okay, so like this stuff happens. I don't want to. Everyone shouldn't be jumping the gun on Wentz being some revamped, elite quarterback. He's good. If you have him, start him until he falls apart. But let's not kid ourselves and say through 2 weeks we can talk about Wentz as if he's some baller, because he's not. He's playing very well, but he gets hurt every year too. He'll get hurt by midseason. Would you trade for Jamar? I have Hollywood, Judy, Gabe Davis, and Garrett Wilson. Yes, I would trade every single one of those players combined for Jamar Chase, but try and do 2 or 3 of them if you can and go from there. But I mean, Jamar Chase crushes those guys. Gabe on waivers, grab him by any means necessary. I mean, it depends, MJ. I don't want you cutting a Kenneth Walker or a Breece Hall or a Kyle Pitts or something like that. But like, yeah, you go get Gabe Davis. He's an elite wide receiver 2 that can play like a wide receiver 1. MJ, I wouldn't let him sit out there for a millisecond. I'd drop all my fab on him. If you put Gabe Davis on the list here, he would be the number 1 waiver wire guy for the week, and I would drop a 10 out of 10 on Gabe Davis. That's how good Gabe Davis is sitting there on waivers. Unbelievable the way people disrespect players. Unbelievable. It's crazy to me. It's mind-boggling. It truly is mind-boggling. Gabe Davis, unbelievable. I wish I played in some of these leagues, to be frank. Vamp, appreciate you. Kirkwood, got your super chats all over the place here. Kirkwood, thank you. I'm going to go over here and answer these that came in first, and then get to the rest of them. So hang tight with me while I try and answer these. Kirkwood, thank you. Gibby Waddle for Javonte Williams and Hollywood Brown. I mean, come on, Javonte. Tabern with a super chat. Tabern says, Pittman, CD, Dillon for Cook, Gabe Davis. Give me Cook and Gabe Davis over Pittman, CD, Dillon. It's close, though. That's like, Tabern, you could argue that because there's so much talent on the Pittman side. Pittman, CD, Dillon, it's a lot of talent for Cook and Gabe Davis, but I would probably bank on Cook in that scenario. This one right here also can counter for safety by Hurts, Edmonds, Andrews, A-Rob, Gainwell for Carr. So many players there. Kamala, you're going to trade for Kamala. Carr, Kamara, Logan Thomas, Pittman, Mark Ingram, Schultz. So Schultz, Pittman, Kamara, Carr for Hurts, Andrews, A-Rob. I mean, yeah, I still like the Pittman side. Yeah, I still like the Pittman side. That's good. Make sure that's Alvin Kamara, not Kamala, though. Trade CMC, Kirk, and Eli Moore for Eckler and Cooks and Lamb. CMC, Kirk, and yeah, go get Eckler, Cooks, and Lamb by a landslide, Kyle. By a landslide, broski. Like, that one's easy. That's light work right there. The wood here, Smitty. Swift's trade value. Top 12. You know, Adams, straight up. Diggs, straight up. And I probably like Swift a tiny bit more because he's an RB. Top 12, bro. Don't dip any lower than top 12. Vamp. I think I already got... no, I got Vamps on here, but I'm going to answer it right here. Trade Muth and Pacheco for Brees and Logan Thomas. Yes, sir. Go get Brees. Go get the Brees, bro. That's a great trade. Someone drop... Cooks drop Juju or Mooney. Don't drop Mooney. Drop Juju. Juju's not worth much right now. Easy call. Easy call. TM, Mooney or Jacoby this week. I go Mooney. I'm trusting Mooney. I just trust Mooney more. I don't blame you for going Jacoby, though. I don't blame you. He's actually doing well with targets and everything. His stats are actually pretty good. The metrics are pretty good. Someone drop... Oh, I already got that one. Okay, let me get to the bottom here. Make sure I'm not missing any super chats. OEG said to the moon. Appreciate you, OEG. Zeke and Julio. I'm trying to answer some random ones too. Zeke and Julio for Mike Evans. Of course I take Mike Evans. I don't care if he's out of game. That's a home run. All right, Heating with the $5 hauler. Grade the team. Pittman and Schultz for... Or grade the trade. Pittman and Schultz for Pitts. That's pretty close and even. You could argue either side. I kind of like the Pitt side, but Pittman's coming back, and he might remind everybody why they loved him so much. Right now, people are down on him because he's been out. If you're good at wide receiver, let's see. Also got offered Aaron Jones for Debo. That's a fair trade, too. Go by position of need because it's pretty even, Steven, man. I mean, they're both going to get drafted right almost back-to-back in a draft if we drafted today for week 3 on. Trading Pittman. So you already did the trade, okay? So I'm okay with Pitts, man. I'm okay with Pitts. Make sure Mooney and DK and these wide receivers that are getting cut left and right aren't sitting there on waivers, man. Get JT and Tyreek for Diggs. Get JT and Tyreek for Diggs. How are you gonna get that, Brock? Is this the grandma league again at the old fogey home? Like, what are you doing? Get JT and Tyreek for Diggs? First of all, JT's valued above Tyreek, Brock, and Diggs and Tyreek are like equal. So you're gonna get like 2 players that are better than Diggs, or at least Tyreek's equal to Diggs, and you're getting JT, who's like the number 1 overall player, for Diggs. I don't even understand this, man. You're gonna lose all your friends after these trades. But yes, Brock, I'm gonna punch that trade.
You've just been Smitty approved.
You've been more than Smitty approved, Brock, and I hate to do that because you're gonna lose some friends over that trade. But Brock, you got to go get that trade if that's sitting out there. I mean, unbelievable. Who are you playing with? Who are you playing with? Kevin Williams, the voicemail king. Is ETN droppable now that J-Rob is... No. I think this is him messing with me. This is Kevin messing with me. Unbelievable. Some people are asking these questions, though. That's why he's doing that. Forklift guy says GOAT was offered A-Rob for Edmonds. I mean, I don't want Edmonds at all, so give me A-Rob, and then I'd try and flip A-Rob, but that's a no-brainer. Smitty, what's your opinion on Russell Wilson? Should I trade Russ, Hunt, and Jacoby for Carr, Lamb, and Pierce? I absolutely would, because Carr and Russ, who cares? And then Hunt and Jacoby for Lamb and Pierce? I'd take probably either one of those over Hunt and Jacoby. You're getting 2 of them, so Cameron...
You've just been Smitty approved.
Such a smash. He wouldn't drop ETN. He likes ETN. He's just messing with me. Voicemail King's getting a little crafty. Got offered. He's going to his head. The voicemail crown is a little heavy. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, Voicemail King. Kamara and J-Rob for Henry and Lamb. God, I hate the J-Rob part. Like, can you get J-Rob swapped out for any other player like Mooney or DK or something that you think I don't like better than J-Rob? Because I don't love J-Rob. He's averaging 3.8 yards per carry. He's a great sell high. That's why he's trying to get rid of him to you for Lamb. I like the Kamara side if you can swap J-Rob out for something better. I just don't. It's turning that trade a little more even than I like. And I don't even trust Henry, but the Wood here, Swift, I got that one already. Trade Muth and Pacheco for, I said Brees already. Drop Cooks. Yep, drop Juju. This one here from Dante, 10-man, Herbert, Mixon, Dalvin, Cook, Keenan Allen, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Schultz. Gabe Davis, ideas. Herbert, Mixon, Dalvin, Keenan, Amon. You got a couple guys that it's like, yeah, they've been a little underperforming or they're risky. Keenan Allen's been injured. Amon-Ra is going nuts for you. I try and upgrade Mixon into Eckler. I try and upgrade Dalvin into or keep Dalvin, I guess, but Dalvin into Kamara or CMC. I do these things by throwing in Schultz. I'd throw in London. I'd throw in Gabe Davis if it got it done. I'd throw in Josh Jacobs if it got it done, but I try and move at least one of those guys into one of those players. Keep T. Higgins. Keep Herbert. Unless you can trade Herbert into a Burrow and then upgrade one of those players, Mixon or Dalvin, into a bigger running back. 409 of you in here. Punch that thumb up button. Monty dropping a super chat. Ryan dropping a super chat. You bet, Derek Lincoln. I appreciate you. And am I caught up here? Cameron, Russell Wilson. Yeah, I got that one. Kevin Williams, Brock. I think I'm caught up over on that side. Let me get to these right here. Ryan says, trade Penny, Julio, receive Hollywood. Sure. I mean, yeah, Hollywood is the only player standing right now. Like, give me Hollywood. Alexander, would you trade J-Rob for A.J. Dillon? Which side wins? Dalvin Cook and Mike Evans for Swift? Dalvin Cook, Mike Evans for Swift. Kind of tough to evaluate that one. I got to take Cook and Evans, I suppose. But I like Swift more than I like Cook because I don't trust Cook, although Swift has been banged up, so you could make that argument too. But Mike Evans kind of crushes London for right now. Maybe that changes, but any other J-Rob ideas? Running backs are thin. J-Rob, Pierce. Would you trade J-Rob for A.J. Dillon? I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, I don't even understand how this is being asked, Alexander. I would trade A.J. Dillon's like a fourth or fifth round pick. J-Rob's not. J-Rob's averaging 3.8 yards per carry. So, yes, trade J-Rob. Alexander, you're going to crush it if you do that. I appreciate you. And go pat yourself on the back for getting A.J. Dillon for J-Rob. Really, really. No, I'm not on board of J-Rob being some amazing running back play on the weekly. Will I at some point be eating my words because J-Rob continues to score touchdowns while averaging 3.8 yards per carry? Maybe. Maybe I'm going to look like a fool. If so, so be it. I'll look like a fool by not seeing the 3.8 yards per carry coming from a mile away. God, I feel silly. Connor and Samuel for Pittman and Pierce. Pittman and Pierce. Oh, is that Debo Samuel? Or is that Curtis Samuel? If it's Curtis Samuel, Pittman and Pierce by a mile. If it's Debo, it's probably still, I'm leaning that side, to be honest with you, to give you an emphasis of how much I like Pittman and Pierce over Curtis Samuel and Connor. And no, it's not me hating on Curtis Samuel. It's me understanding that he doesn't hold more than wide receiver 3 value right now, which is good valuation for him. I like him. He's a good wide receiver 3. People just can't accept that I don't want to put him as a wide receiver 2 when there are 3 wide receivers battling for the 2 and 3 spot there in Washington. Trade Penny, Julio, and receive Hollywood. Already got that one. Hollywood. That's just what's the why even hold those other players? So yeah, I mean Julio's injured now. I'm 2-0 redraft PPR. Look at him hard at work crunching numbers. Those aren't TPS reports. They're supposed to be. But his boss, he's got the door closed behind him. He's got the fantasy set up. He's got a mirror so he can see if anybody's coming in. He's crunching numbers, fantasy numbers, not TPS numbers. And Devin says, I'm 2-0. I bet you are. I bet you lock that door and crunch those numbers all day long, Devin. Should I deal Bateman and Goddard for Pitts? You should. I mean, it's arguable. It's arguable. You have Lamb. Bateman's good. Goddard's good. I just feel like Pitts is a league winner, And I feel like it's a gamble worth taking because you don't really know how much value Goddard's going to have consistency-wise, and you don't know how much value Bateman's going to have. Is he going to be a little up and down? I like what I saw out of Bateman. Bateman looks fantastic. You wouldn't be crazy to say no. But with Jefferson and Waddle and Pittman, I don't feel like Bateman's necessarily needed. I can only start the most 4 wide receivers at once, which is good. You could put, technically speaking, you could put Waddle in, but you have Lamb, Jefferson, Waddle, Pittman. Don't let one of those wide receivers sit on your bench when you can upgrade into Kyle Pitts and do it before his value climbs up. So smash that trade. Even though a lot of people might say not to, there's probably a lot of people that would say not to, and I don't blame those people, but I'm certainly gonna be more apt to make that upgrade versus sitting on that value and not using it. Daniel with the super chat. Daniel, appreciate you. Michael with the super chat. I'm gonna put you two over here in the corner. If I missed anybody, would you please drop a bunch of red question marks? Don't abuse that, or I won't answer your questions. Okay, that's for the people that missed their super chat got missed because I'm doing too much at once and I'm doing my best. But I will get to you. Bunch of red question marks, the red emoji question mark with your question if I missed it. I will get to it right away. League isn't ready for Herbert on the perks. League isn't ready for Herbert on the perks. You're saying that Herbert on the perks is going to be electric? Is that what you're saying? Who that? Appreciate your super chat, by the way. Money Mitch. Hey, it's KG Money. I changed my name. Okay. KG Money changing his name. Trade Dobbins for ETN. It's gonna be hard for me to remember. Okay, Money Mitch is KG Money. Got it. Trade Dobbins for ETN, of course. Dobbins is not even, he's fully practicing but not ready to play. What's that mean? It means he's not ready. It means his knee is mangled. I have Cook, Eckler, B-Rob. Yep. Or should I try and get a wide receiver? Look, it depends. What wide receiver can you get for Dobbins? Can you get like a Higgins? That I'm maybe on board that. AJ Brown? Sure. If not, then I like ETN. I think ETN's a good get. I think Pierce would be good. I think Breece Hall would be good. Those are all very, very good gets for that value in return. Trade Breece Hall and Ayuk for Garrett Wilson. I don't. I keep Breece Hall. There's no way I'm making that trade. I like Garrett Wilson, but you just got him off waivers, or he just got him off waivers, and you're giving him Breece Hall. You got to wait on Breece Hall. Be patient for Breece Hall. Don't get impatient after 2 weeks. You knew what time it was when you drafted him. You knew that it could take till week 4 or 5, but yet the human condition, the psychology behind fantasy football. This is why I bring my psychology degree to the table here to analyze all of us that are freaking out, having knee-jerk reactions, and our expectation level is off kilter. We know what time it is with Breece Hall. It's wait season. We're waiting. Unfortunately, we're waiting. And wait season's uncomfortable and it's annoying, but we have to wait it out. Kelsey, Mike Evans for Swift and Waller. Give me Swift and Waller. Especially with Evans missing a game, it's just hard to bank on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a pretty easy call, even though on its face it looks complicated. Daniel with the super chat. Curtis Samuel. What about Curtis Samuel, Gabriel? Curtis Samuel is. I like Curtis Samuel as a wide receiver 3. I do. He's a good wide receiver 3. BTG, I don't know if this is a joke in a way to make fun of J-Rob or to try and make fun of my analysis on 3.8 yards per carry, but 3.8 is a first down on 3 runs. That's good math, BTG. Daniel, I'm 2-0, 10-team league, PPR. Someone sent me J-Rob and Deontay Johnson for my James Conner and Bateman. I don't care about J-Rob. I don't care. I like Conner for trade reasons, trade bait reasons. I don't like owning him. And I like Bateman more than I like Deontay. Bateman's the best player in the deal right now. So negative on this Ghost Rider. And trade Conner and Bateman to somebody else. Go get a bigger name wide receiver like A.J. Brown or a different deal, or trade Connor for Pierce straight up, or Breece Hall straight up, or something else. But don't just give away Bateman because he's on your bench. Take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be wasting your opportunity to get something great using the insight you had on getting Bateman on your roster. So you're throwing it away. Don't throw it away. This is why your parents sent you to college. Make sure you're utilizing those skills, those deductive reasoning skills. Don't be giving away Batemans for free. 408 in here, 417 in here, 167 thumbs up. Punch that thumb up button. Russ, JT for Cup and Burrow. Russ and JT for Cup and Burrow. Give me Cup and Burrow. I look, Cup's playing as well as JT. I know we want to say, oh, it's JT. It's the first overall. It's not the first overall pick. That ship has sailed. We need to reevaluate what's going on. And JT's good. JT's top 2 or 3 overall. But Cooper Kupp's playing out of his mind still. It's not stopping. Doesn't matter what's happening around him. He's playing out of his mind. And I believe Joe Burrow is this much higher than Russell Wilson, despite what we've seen so far. I'm keeping the faith in Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow. His cigar's out. All we got to do is relight it, okay? His cigar's out. It can be relit. Everybody needs to calm down and relax. Give McLaurin, receive A-Rob, and Everett. If you're dying at tight end or something, I guess, but I'd rather probably have McLaurin by a little bit over A-Rob, and that would make me not want to do it unless this is like drastic, like desire to get a tight end and you're working you just can't get any kind of help at all. Muth and Fournette for Monty and Andrews. Give me Monty and Andrews, and then I try and trade Monty and something, or trade Monty for Breece Hall, trade Monty for Pierce maybe, and then you have Andrews and Pierce over Muth and Fournette, which I actually like better. But you trust your gut on that. I think some people might take Fournette. A lot of people like Fournette. I don't. Bad Sports says, Smitty, I'm in an IR rut. I must drop Henderson, Hunt, Gabe Davis, Judy. You must drop one of those. Judy's hurt, so maybe Judy, but that sucks, man. But I don't think I could drop those other guys. I'm not going to tell you to drop those guys, but I can rank them and say that Judy's the least valuable right now, but you got to monitor them. But that tells me your waiver wire is deep anyway, so I don't know that it matters too much. Because I bet you anything, there's massive studs sitting on the waiver wire. I bet you DK sitting on the waiver wire. You're probably going to come back and go, yeah, Kyle Pitts and DK are on the waiver wire. Should I grab them? I'm going to be like, yeah, after you take your lap. Should I trade away Stafford, Pittman? I'm kidding, because your waiver's deep. Your waiver wire pool is full of riches, bro. It's the nature of a small bench, small bench in a small league. Yeah, we need to turn Joe Burrow's cigar on and off depending on what's going on with him. Maybe I'll do that. Should I trade away Stafford, Pittman, Henderson, and Michael Carter for Tyreek and Lamar? Stafford, Pittman, Henderson, Carter. Yes. Jabril, after you take your lap. Take your victory lap after, though, and pat yourself on the back for putting yourself in that position. Okay, broski? We take laps on the show when we don't jump on good trades, but we also take victory laps and celebrate. Then we get back to work like Bill Belichick. All right, whiteboard, please. Okay, he asked for it. $10 holler. He wants a whiteboard session. Give the man a whiteboard session. Where's my marker when I need it? Let's see here. Super chat. And I think we are caught up. So James wants to be whiteboarded. Let's give him the whiteboard session. Smitty, please, 2-0, 12-team PPR Dynasty, Russell Wilson, Swift, Mitchell, Hill. So Russell Wilson, Swift, Mitchell, Hill. It sucks that Mitchell's on IR, bro. I'm sorry about that. Higgins, AIO. Is that Alberto? Alberto. We'll call him Big Al. Big Al. Who else was it? It was Big Al. It was Higgins. Okay. Jeff Wilson Jr., Mason, Hunt, A-Rob. You got some trade bait. A-Rob. San Francisco running backs. And Hunt. Okay. What could we do? What could we do with this team? I got yours, Maurice. I got yours, and I'm actually going to touch on. I just joined to get your thoughts on Jordan Mason, San Francisco running back. I'm going to touch on that right now for you because I'm going to talk about the San Francisco running back. So I'm going to put you right here, and then I'll go over that at the same time. Albert, appreciate your super chat. I'm going to put you in the corner. If anybody wants to be marker boarded, I will do that for a $10 super, no problem. Okay, so you've got some options here to trade. I would definitely look to upgrade Russell Wilson using A-Rob, using Kareem Hunt. I think you can maybe get like a, I would honestly go after Joe Burrow, but I know not everybody loves Joe Burrow. So that's up to you. I believe in him. I believe in cigar smoking Joseph Burrow, and I'm going after him. No question about it. Cody's throwing a bunch of question marks, but no question in there. Cody, if you ask something in a super chat, why don't you put the question in there and I'll get to it for you, pal. Appreciate you. Swift. Don't touch Hill. Don't touch Swift. Don't touch Higgins. Kyle Pitts for Albert O and A-Rob. San Francisco running backs into your lineup. Obviously, you're good there. Now, touching on the San Francisco backs for Maurice, I will say that I like Mason more than I like Jeff Wilson, but Jeff Wilson is currently the starter. So you've got to ask yourself, if you're in a position to have one or the other, Jeff Wilson's going to help you now, but maybe he gets hurt by halftime, or maybe he relinquishes the job through the hot hand approach that Shanahan's already said he's going to deploy, and Mason's that tougher runner. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that Mason at some point is probably going to get an opportunity to showcase himself. And if Mason balls out, Mason's going to get the job because Mason is a tougher runner than Jeff Wilson. I keep saying Zach Wilson. So I would look to, you're pretty good having that secure running back crew there, but can you trade the San Francisco running backs and A-Rob, or the San Francisco running backs and Higgins? I said not to trade Higgins, but I would trade the San Francisco running backs and Higgins for like an Austin Eckler or maybe a Kamara. I would do that. That would be something I'd look to do. I'd also try and get Kyle Pitts using A-Rob and Big Al. I would potentially trade Hunt and Big Al for Kyle Pitts, Tyreek Hill, Swift. Try and get that upgrade at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is a pretty good upgrade at quarterback. That's kind of where I'd take those teams. But as for Mason, I think Mason could be a league winner, Maurice. I think he could be a league winner. And I grab him if I can only grab one running back right now, and Jeff Wilson and Mason are there. I just don't think Jeff Wilson's going to last. So I'm making a preemptive move. I'm circumventing and leapfrogging Wilson and foregoing the now for the potential 4 or 5 starts that I get out of Jordan Mason versus 1 or 2 starts now out of Jeff Wilson. It's like you're sacrificing, and you're also rolling the dice a little bit that Mason gets the job because he might not. Wilson's got it right now. Alex with a super chat. Tua, CMC, Javonte, Hill, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Logan Thomas, Sutton, Bench, ETN, Pierce, Ken Walker, Jordan Mason. Whiteboard me up. Let's see here. Let me get my marker because this is getting a little crazy here. Wiping it off with my hand, and then I've got like this. All right, there we go. A lot easier. I don't understand what Cody's doing here. Cody, you keep dropping these question marks, and then there's nothing in here but question marks. So how would I know? I don't understand what's going on here. Okay, so Tua, CMC, Javonte, Hill. Tua, CMC, Javonte, Hill. St. Brown, Thomas, Sutton, ETN. St. Brown, Thomas, Sutton, ETN, Pierce, Walker. I'm starting to write like a doctor. You start writing so much. Let's see here. B. Robin, our best trade targets. So I love this. I would upgrade this to JT if you could. You might even want to explore CMC and potentially like an ETN, CMC, and a. Do you have Waller on the bench or is that Walker? Sutton and CMC for JT. So try that. Javonte, keep him. Hill, keep him. St. Brown, keep him. Kyle Pitts using ETN. I would seriously consider Kyle Pitts and Logan Thomas for ETN. Kyle Pitts for ETN and Logan Thomas. I consider that. Past that, bro. I mean, Tua and for Burrow up to Tua, or you just if you love Tua, keep Tua. Keep Tua. That's not bad. I like this. Those are the moves I'm making. I'm trying to get this into JT because you can. You've got ETN. I try and keep Pierce because he's undervalued. I try and keep Walker because he's undervalued. Sutton and CMC should get you potentially a bump up into a JT. It might. Or you just go get Kyle Pitts. That's an easy call for me. I mean, this team's so loaded, you don't really even need to do anything. But Kyle Pitts is sitting there for the taking, man. And you've got bench players that you can trade for it. And if I didn't list all your bench, you could go after, keep some of your bench guys here and go after using your other bench guys. But Sutton's a good trade piece right now. Don't really trust Denver's pass attack too much right now. I trust Sutton to a degree, but I'd rather trade him for a player I like a little better. Cody, if you dropped a super chat, like I said, drop your question with question mark emojis in it so I can see it. Don't just drop a bunch of question mark emojis. And I don't know if you're just dropping that anyway. I'm not sure. But Cody, I'm here to help you. I just need your question. If it got asked somewhere and missed, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up with it, but I need your question. And I keep just seeing you drop these messages over and over. And it's like, how am I supposed to know what you asked? I can't. I need the question. Christopher, have Jefferson, Diggs, and Pittman at wide receiver. Should I trade Sutton for Kyle Pitts? I would get Kyle Pitts. I just explained that. Thank you, Jones, for subscribing. I just explained that. Now the other question, and I'm still on board with that. Yeah, 100%. Joined to tell you about thank you. Appreciate you, Maurice. This one's from Albert. Once again, asking if Amon-Ra, Aaron Jones, and D-Hop is a good price for JJ. Once again, asking Amon-Ra, Aaron Jones, and D-Hop. I would take Amon-Ra, Aaron Jones, and D-Hop for JJ in a heartbeat. I'd rather have the Amon-Ra and Aaron Jones side. That is a lot of talent for one player because Amon-Ra is playing as good as anybody. And Aaron Jones is phenomenal. So do that trade, bro. Do that trade and do it now. Let's see here. Have Jefferson, Diggs, and Pittman at wide receiver. Should I trade Sutton for Kyle Pitts? I got to that one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do that. Do it now. Do it live. Alex with a super chat. Tua CMC. That's the one I just did on the marker board. Appreciate you. Jason. Superflex 3 wide receiver have Lamar, Cousins, JT, ETN, Henderson, Pollard, JJ, Debo. Pitts got offered. Trade JJ for AJ Brown and Kamara. Take AJ Brown and Kamara and run for the hills. Look, I love JJ, but you get Kamara and AJ Brown. It's just too much value to pass on. It's just too much value. PPR. I traded Mike Thomas and J-Rob for Mike Evans. I could get behind that, but Mike Thomas is pretty good too. So, Evans is out for week number 3. I could get behind either side of that. Thank you, Albert. Albert, I had your super chat here. I was just getting through them all. But I appreciate you asking. Aloha, Smitty. I got Chase for MT and Gibby. You stole Chase away, bro. Congratulations, Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay. Hurts won my league for me last year. Hurts is a baller, bro. Hurts is a straight up baller. Thank you again for your question, James. I appreciate you. Payne in the building. Payne with a $10.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Payne. Whiteboard, please, says Payne. I'm feeling weak long term. Mahomes. Is this a 1 QB? I think it is. So Mahomes, Chubb, Monty, J-Rob. Mahomes, Chubb, Monty, A-Rob, or B-Rob, J-Rob, sorry, J-Rob, and you got B-Rob. Pierce, Mike Williams, DK, A-Rob, okay. You got all the Robs, bro. Pierce, DK, Julio Jones, who cares? Andrews, Knox. Okay, so Andrews, you're good at tight end. So honestly, the only thing I'm looking to do if I'm you, I don't trade DK because you can't get anything for him. I don't trade Pierce, you can't get anything for him. You've got Knox, so you've got a potential here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even share the board. Knox, you got the potential Knox here to maybe play around with that Aaron Jones, or that, Andrews value. So if it's me, I would look to trade Monty and J-Rob for one better running back, and there's not a lot out there. But maybe A.J. Dillon. And I know that seems like a lot to spend on a guy that seems like he's disappointing a little bit right now. Let me do it on this side so you can see it. So Monty and Chubb for Dillon. I'm not Chubb, I'm sorry. Monty and J-Rob. Chubb. Don't trade Chubb. Don't trade. I'm sorry. Monty and J-Rob for Dillon. And that might be too much for some people, but I'm getting rid of some of these. I'm getting rid of some of these Robs. You got too many Robs here. J-Rob, B-Rob, and A-Rob. And let's get rid of them. Pierce, I love. DK is undervalued. Honestly, I love your team. I don't know that you need to make any crazy moves. I like the idea of getting Breece Hall, maybe. Monty's. I don't know. I just don't like. I just don't like Monty on my roster right now. If I can get rid of him, I do it. You always could explore trading Chubb for a Kamara and something. Like if you could go get. Yeah, Monty for Dillon straight up, maybe even do that. But I would throw J-Rob in, no problem. I have no issues with that. You could potentially trade Nick Chubb for two players. One of those players being like Eckler. And then who knows what you're getting here. You know? Like another thing I would look to do is go to the Kyle Pitts owner and trade him Andrews and then see what you can get back. So you give him Andrews, you get Kyle Pitts, and who knows what you can get here. Maybe you can upgrade Monty into a much better running back, you know, something like that. That's probably where I'd take this team and just explore. You could maybe look to acquire. I know this would be a lot of trades, but if there's a lot of trading in your league, you can do this. If there's not a lot of trading in your league, I just focus on the one move: Monty and J-Rob, Monty and A-Rob, Monty and whatever Knox if somebody's hurting a tight end for a slightly better running back. And there aren't a lot of them. It's like you already got Pierce, who I would go target if I needed a running back. You already got him. It's A.J. Dillon, really. There's not a lot of players, but I would trade Chubb for Eckler and another player, but that player has to be a solid player. I would trade Andrews for Pitts and a very, very solid player. Make sure that player is absolutely amazing. Why do I hate J-Rob so much? I don't hate J-Rob at all, Anthony. He's averaging 3.8 yards per carry, and everybody's acting like he's a running back one. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's not saying he isn't good, but this isn't. This is craziness. You know, he's a great sell high. You got to sell high. You've got, like, you don't take advantage of selling J-Rob high. It's going to be the same thing. People are going to feel the same way about that 4 weeks from now. That the people that had Edmonds and were just sitting on Edmonds. He's great. He's in a great offense. Edmonds is going to be great. Mookie says, Mookie, this is inaccurate though. This isn't even what I said. So you're not even painting this the right way. No way I'm trading Andrews for Pitts. Who would trade Andrews for Pitts? I didn't say that. I said trade Andrews for Pitts and an amazing player. So I don't know what you're talking about there, Mookie. Here, you got it all backwards, bro. This one right here from MCF. Appreciate you, MC. Let's take it to the board, baby. MC says, Anthony says, who's just a clown? I'm a clown, Anthony? Is Anthony calling me a clown? You talking to me, Anthony? Cousins, JJ Hill. I know he's not listening, but I want to know, Anthony, speak up. You calling me a clown? Tell me what you're thinking, Anthony. Tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel, Anthony. Lamb, Swift, Dylan. I'm waiting for your answer. It's a good team. Cousins, I'd like to upgrade Cousins. We're waiting for Anthony's response. I have a feeling he's not going to respond. We'll keep looking. We'll be sitting here, Anthony, waiting for your response. People want to blame Smitty when he makes a mistake. They always do. I don't see Anthony. Cricket sounds. Trade Kirk for Monty. It's preference, bro. Preference. I'm waiting, Anthony. We're waiting. We're still waiting, Anthony. Cricket sounds. Just complete crickets. Well, I'm waiting to see if Anthony meant that. Okay. Either way, you shouldn't be talking to anybody in the chat like that. But I'm waiting. Grabbing a Snickers. Yo, Smitty, who are we trading Henry for? Need to replace a RB. Kamara for sure, bro. He's probably timed out. Well, I'm sure Terry timed him out. We'll see when he comes back. We'll see what he says. But I'm pretty sure he was calling me a clown. I'm pretty sure. Because right before that, he was talking about my take and then said, you're just a clown. I love for him to be able to voice his opinion on that. Maurice with a super chat. Maurice, I appreciate you dropping that. Hippo, appreciate you dropping your super chat. Rockout says, fire Hackett. He's doing a Hackett job. He sure is. Just doing a Hackett of a job, bro. It's absolute madness. But, at least he's given Monty a bunch of work, though. Like 11 receptions. I mean, come on. Bad usage near the goal line for sure, but he is feeding him. All right, back to this question. Dylan, this is a good team. Pierce, Brees, Logan Thomas, Pierce, Brees, Burks, looking to upgrade tight end, QB. You got Pierce, Brees Hall. And then I think you got Logan Thomas. Thank you, Maurice, for the super chat. Hippo, thank you. Well, we'll wait for Anthony to explain himself once he gets out of timeout. Quarterback, you could maybe trade. I'd obviously trade one of these guys, right? I would trade Lamb to upgrade Cousins. I really would. If it was a monster top 5 quarterback move. Now, if you can't do that, then I think you're looking really good here, bro. I mean, I'd try and go get Kyle Pitts for Logan Thomas, and I'd try and get rid of something other than these two guys. I really don't want to see you move those two guys. So I'd use some of your other depths, like maybe Burks, maybe London, maybe Hunt. London and Hunt. I imagine Hunt, because people are so running back needy, Hunt and Logan Thomas could get you Kyle Pitts. And I think that's the only move you need to make. I mean, I'd try and upgrade. If you can't get that, Hunt and London, upgrade Cousins. I go after Burrow personally. I think it's amazing. Amazing value. Oh, God, some people. 10-man, 0.5 PPR Superflex, Lamar, Tua, Dalvin Cook, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, Pittman, Waddle. This is really good, bro. This is really good. I would say, no, I'm not letting them steal my flow, but these people deserve to be called out when they come in and just drop negativity. Like, there's no reason to do that. This community is a positive community. We don't tolerate that. Why is he in timeout? Why do you think, Big WHITTA or BTG? I'm sorry, BTG. Why do you think he's in timeout? I was calling Harmon a clown because he was saying Mariota was. Here you go. Anthony says he wasn't calling me a clown. He was saying Harmon was a clown because he was saying Mariota the same as Hurts, man, and it was pissing me off. And I have Hurts and I watch all your videos. I love the channel. Okay. All right. I didn't think Anthony meant that. Is Anthony trolling? I don't know. Somebody give me their honest opinion. What do my mods think? What did Anthony really say? Was that clown emoji to me, or was it because of the Mariota comment? Somebody let me know so we can make a decision. I think maybe we'll give him another chance. But Anthony, you can't do that stuff. I don't know. Somebody tell me it's BS, Anthony. Someone tell me it's BS, Anthony. I don't know. Curtis Samuel and Dobbins for Godwin and J-Rob. I don't know. I don't like any side of that, to be honest with you. If you want to cuff, I can understand wanting to get J-Rob with the ETN. That makes sense. Tyler says Anthony is chill. Free Anthony. He told his piece, says Tyler. He wasn't talking to you, says Mookie. It's to you, says Matt. I don't know who to believe. We'll give him another chance, because if he really is a troll, he won't be able to contain himself. He'll act like a troll again. Anthony, I'm going to give you a free pass. Just be nice to other people, because look what happens when you start throwing around clown emojis. You start making other people think it gets misconstrued, and we don't want that in this chat. We don't want negativity, bro. No one needs to be called a clown. This guy coming in, dropping another site's or another channel's name is going to get banned. So that's good for you. You just lost your privileges by dropping another channel's name. Great. Good for you. Now you're gone. How does it feel? Let Anthony make it a second chance. One more try. Can we cue the one more try music for Anthony? I think Anthony didn't mean it. I'm going to go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. All right. Chris H. says 0-2 team just traded Javonte Burrow for Cooper Kupp. Now I've got Jay Taylor, Dylan Harris, Cooper Kupp, Hollywood, tight end. I don't think I can do the marker board anymore because we're getting behind. It's really hard to do the marker board. Then I got potential trolling situations going on. But we'll go ahead and I trust Vamp. James Conklin said Anthony's usually a great member. Anthony, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here and just assume you meant that to somebody else. Okay, so clean slate, broski. Okay, clean slate, but no clown emojis. It gets misconstrued, bro. We don't know who's talking about. The only clown emoji you can use is if you say Hackett is a clown. Then it's then we understand what you're talking about. 0-2 PPR traded Javonte Burrow for Kupp. Javonte Burrow for Kupp. I don't know how I feel about that. Burrow and Javonte for Kupp. You've got Jonathan Taylor, Dylan Harris, Kupp, Hollywood, Andrews, Goff. I don't know. I mean, you had to make a move, Chris, and I don't mind that you made a bold move, but I probably would rather have Javonte and Burrow in your situation. I know you knee-jerk reacted on both Javonte and Burrow, and you started off 0-2. I get it. Maybe your team does better this way. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say I probably wouldn't have done that, but I don't mind that. I think you'll be okay. Hippo says, whiteboard, please. 10-man, 0.5 PPR Superflex. Lamar, Tua, Dalvin, AJ, Dillon, Jamar, Pittman, Waddle, and Kittle. Bench, Bateman, Zeke, Irv. It's a good team, man. I'm going to keep it right on the screen here because the whiteboard's getting me behind here. I'm going to say 0.5 PPR Superflex, Lamar, Tua. This is a good team. Dalvin, AJ, Dillon, Jamar, Pittman, Waddle. I don't think you need to make really any moves. Would I trade Kittle for Pittman now that he's back? Pitts? Kittle for Pitts? I would. I would trade Kittle for Pitts. I like Pittman. I love Waddle. I love Jamar. Your wide receivers are off the hook. AJ Dillon, I actually like as a crafty player. In this situation, I would trade Dalvin Cook for Eckler if you can give up Zeke. I would trade Dalvin Cook for even CMC and take that risk on versus the Dalvin Cook risk giving up Zeke. Use Zeke to make these trades. Go after Swift, using Zeke and Dalvin Cook. I think Zeke and Dalvin Cook could get you into a running back upgrade of some kind. I really do. I'm a clown. I love clowns. They make me laugh, except Stephen King's clown. Thank you, Ron Navy, for the super chat. Appreciate you, good buddy. Somebody said I missed a super chat up here, so I'm going to go try and find it. Chris, appreciate your super chat again. Marie said QB Winston, Kamara, ETN, D. Adams, Corey Davis, Goddard, Pierce, Judy, Gallup only can have 3 running backs and his 20-team league. Nothing much on the wire. Jordan Mason is out there. Jordan Mason's pretty good to have on the wire, bro, to be honest with you. Gallup, you're going to keep Gallup over Jordan Mason? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Go get Jordan Mason. He could be starting multiple games at some point. Maybe not. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. We don't know. But Gallup is an injury-prone player. There's no real upside whatsoever. Always hurt. I would take Mason in a heartbeat over him. ETN, you gotta stash him or you could start him. I'd start Pierce over ETN for the time being. I'd use Goddard and maybe a Judy to go get Kyle Pitts. Maybe someone will do that. I would use Judy or maybe. I'd probably use Judy for maybe to upgrade Winston a little bit, a tiny bit, somehow, some way. I think that's what I'd try and do with those teams. Let me get back to this screen here, and let me try and find some of these super chats. MF, I appreciate you. Your team's very, very good. I think I gave you advice looking to upgrade a tight end. Definitely going after Kyle Pitts in your situation. Logan Thomas and London. Logan Thomas and potentially Burks and London. Logan Thomas and Hunt. Again, Hunt's a very, very good, I think, bargaining piece. This one's from Michael. Michael says, PPR need help filling my roster. Trade Jamar Chase, ETN, and MVS Godwin for Monty, Bateman, Hall, and Evans. No, I'm keeping the Jamar Chase side. That's the best player in the deal. ETN, I think, is still getting undervalued here. Godwin and MVS, I would trade. I would look to trade those guys. Trade Godwin and MVS for Hall. Go after Hall. Go after his Brees Hall, but keep your Jamar Chase. Don't even go that route. Can I get a whiteboard? Hurts, Javonte Pollard, AJ Brown, Waddle, Logan Thomas, bench, Eli Mitchell, Rashad White, Palmer. I'm sorry, the whiteboards are getting me behind. I'm sorry, Vamp. I don't think we need to we'll do this. This is we'll make it big. We'll make it big. Hurts, Javonte Pollard. I love AJ Brown, Waddle. I think might have already done this one. Did I? Logan Thomas for Pitts. How do you get that done? You throw in, I don't know. I maybe throw in Brees Hall or Ken Walker with Logan Thomas to get Kyle Pitts for this team. I'd also consider trading Pollard maybe, but he could blow up and win your league. So it's tough. Like Mitchell, will someone take Mitchell? Hurts, Javonte, JJ, AJ Brown, Waddle. You're very, very stacked. I think Pitts is the only player I'm trying to get into this lineup because I like the rest of your team. I don't think I'm making any big moves. It's a really good squad. I need to just upgrade my team overall. Go get Mason. I'm telling you that Mason is a pretty darn good play. Don't let anyone make you appreciate that. Michael K. CPA need a wide receiver too. Keep or trade. Najee, Javonte, Etienne, Damian Pierce, Pollard, Henderson, wide receiver target. Higgins is probably my favorite wide receiver target right now, and he's kind of attainable for like a Henderson and something. I mean, you didn't give me a bunch of names here to work with, but I'd say you can maybe use Etienne or Pierce or Pollard with Henderson potentially, but I'd throw a wide receiver in with Henderson to get a T. Higgins. I would go after AJ Brown. I would go after DK Metcalf using, Henderson. I would. That's me. I like DK as a buy low right now. I think I would do that. I think he's very cheap too. He's very cheap. Henderson could get you Pitts or get you DK very easily, I think, in most scenarios. Thank you, Maurice, for your super chat. And again, you said overall upgrade. I mean, again, Goddard to Pitts is what I'm trying to do. ETN into Kamara. Or you have Kamara. ETN into Eckler. I just don't know if you're willing to give up. I mean, what else can you give up here? I don't, there's not a lot listed, but I would definitely go get Jordan Mason. That's going to upgrade you pretty good. Hippo, appreciate your question. Rock out. Thank you for your super chat. Somebody said they super chatted and I didn't see it, so I'm going to look up and try and find it. MC, appreciate your super chat. I know I got you taken care of. Slayer is the one that I didn't get to. Slayer, you still here? Slayer said Burrow, Swift. Thank you for the $5 holler. Burrow, Swift, Javonte, DK, St. Brown, Pitts, Curtis Samuel, benches, Kenneth Walker, ETN, Rashad White, Algier, trade, help, 911, 2-0, but barely. Burrow, I keep. Swift, Javonte, I keep. DK, I like as don't trade him. You can't get enough for him. St. Brown, you keep. Pitts, you've got a really good team. Maybe you trade. I don't know. I mean, Debo or Curtis Samuel and Kenneth Walker for like a Breece Hall or an AJ Dillon or I mean, there's not much you can do. You can maybe trade Curtis Samuel and DK for like a Higgins. I don't know if someone's going to do that. If you wanted to, you could potentially break up one of your big guns. Like, I don't want you trading St. Brown, but if you could get a Alvin Kamara and Higgins for St. Brown and someone's crazy enough to do that. I've seen some people get some big hauls for St. Brown right now. It's something to entertain. Just entertain it. If it's not like offer too good to be true, then don't take it. But you don't have any ability to really trade, Slayer. Your team's too good. Payne, appreciate you with your question. If I didn't get to one of yours, let me know. Trade Mike Thomas for J. Rob and Mike Evans. I got to that one. Okay, I think I'm caught up on that. Let me scroll to the bottom and see if there's any other super chats. Payne, got another super chat from Payne. Appreciate you, Payne. KCM dropping a super on the screen here. Vamp, I appreciate you. Smash that like if you're not a clown, says Vamp. Appreciate you, Vamp. We had a little bit of a controversy here earlier. If you're just joining us, we thought a guy was dropping a clown emoji, and we were just trying to get him to explain himself. Then Terry timed him out, so he couldn't respond. Then he came back and told us he didn't mean to tell me I was a clown. He was telling somebody else in the chat that he was a clown. But then I told him that's not cool. So now he's cool. We're cool. Bro fist. Everybody's happy. Everything's good to go. And that's that. That's the sum total. Garrett Wilson. Joshua Palmer, Nico for Gallup. Take it. No, Gallup is not. I wouldn't. KCM, you could drop Gallup and dangle him right in front of me, and I'm just going to walk around him. Like, I have zero interest in Gallup. Zero interest in Gallup. I want Garrett Wilson over Gallup 100 times over. Like what's this fascination with Gallup that everybody has? KCM, I appreciate you. It's a good question because apparently a lot of people are asking it, but I'm not. Gallup is the most injury-prone player. There's no way I'm banking on Gallup. I could be wrong. Maybe he comes out and balls out, but I just CeeDee Lamb's having a tough enough time. How's Gallup gonna do it? You know what I mean? 400 of you in here, 222 thumbs up. Punch that thumb up button. Appreciate you all. We've been live for an hour and 34 minutes. I started late. We would be at essentially 2 hours had I started on time. What's weak, BTG? What's weak? What's weak, buddy? Speak up. Follow up to previous super chat. Who else should I aim for with Andrews for Pitts? Pitts owner has Mixon, Zeke, D. Adams, Robbie, Gabe Davis, and there's not much in there that you can add to that. It would be something like if he had an AJ Dillon. You could ask for Mixon. You could throw something back. You know what I'm saying? You could throw something back. But Mixon and Pitts for Andrews and something. Matt B says Gallup over CD. No, thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. That you put him in timeout for saying a clown. So you're saying that if he calls me a clown, and first of all, I didn't put him in timeout, but BTG, you're saying that if he says I'm a clown and he gets put in timeout, that's weak? You believe that's weak? How so? Tyler with the super chat. Tyler, thank you. I'm going to try and find your question down below. Just ask away, buddy boy. What's up, Adolfo? Appreciate you. Tyler's question coming in hot. I mean, explain what you're talking about, BTG, because what's weak about that? What's weak about that? Not to mention, I didn't even put him in timeout. Smitty, mark my words. Cook will disappoint the people who bail on him. Top 5 running back. Book it, says the Fremp. I mean, maybe, bro. He's a big injury risk. He's a big injury risk. Well, I mean, BTG, why is that weak? Explain yourself. Because you should be able to come in and just try and drag the chat down and call the host of his own show a clown in the chat and expect things to just be cool. You expect a host of a chat to be cool with somebody being like, you're a clown. You're a clown. Tell me that. You can't handle the criticism? I can handle the criticism fine. But when someone comes in a disrespectful BTG, like, BTG, why don't you tell me I'm a clown and see what happens right now? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let's see how I handle it. Kamara, Dobbins, Burrow, ETN, Debo, Higgins, Elijah Moore, Mason, Conklin, Walker, Hopkins, 0-2. I'm sorry you're 0-2, broski. Burrow, Kamara, Dobbins. Dobbins needs to be traded if you can. I mean, he's coming back, so you might be able to get something for him. So maybe try and make a move. Like Hopkins and Dobbins together might get you something. You could maybe go after Hopkins and Dobbins. Maybe a AJ Dillon you could get. Ryan with the super chat. Ryan, appreciate you. I got your question right here. Rock out with the super chat. Michael with the super chat. Problem bless with a super chat. Thank you. Fire with a super chat. My Andrews and Monty for Pitts and Mixon. Yes, I'd take Pitts and Mixon in that deal. I like Andrews a lot, but this is a good move to make. It's a good move to make. BTG says, well, I don't think you're a clown, but the fact that they put that guy in timeout for it is pretty weak. You're not letting people express themselves by calling you. So, bro, there's a difference between expressing yourself and being disrespectful. You called the host a clown What do you think? You think that's okay? That behavior is just cool? Like, you think someone's going to be like, cool, I like having you here. You're a nice positive vibe. You're not a drag on the community or the chat at all. Like, give me a break, BTG. Give me a break. Absolutely no. You're 100,000% wrong. No host is going to want a chat full of people that are haters and try and drag down the community and the flow of the chat. Like that, you're already disrupting it yourself, just trying to argue a really bad point. It's crazy. All right, let's get back to these. Blackbeard, appreciate you. Should I trade Evans, Hurts, and Andrews for Jefferson, Murray, and Schultz? Hurts, okay, so Hurts and Murray definitely could feel like that could be, that you could just take that out so we can, I mean, Hurts over Murray, but let's take it out to just look at it. Evans, Andrews, Jefferson, Hurts, let's see, Jefferson and Murray and Schultz. Oh man, that's such a tough one. I probably lean on the Kyler Murray Jefferson side. Totally. It's arguable though, bro. You should be able to express yourself by calling somebody a clown. Okay. Whatever. Dude can leave all he wants. Question below, Fire. I appreciate you, Fire. Let me see if I can find Fire's question. Fire, where's Fire at? Here it is. I love some people's thinking, the rationale. Like you're gonna want to keep someone in your show. Like, okay, you're at the you're the Tonight Show host. You're sitting there and somebody's got a poster board that says you're a clown and he's sitting in the front row. And the host is gonna be like, yeah, that's cool. Security's going over. No, leave him. Leave him. He's got a big poster board that says clown. It's fine. He's fine. He's expressing himself. He doesn't want to be here, but he's still here. You don't want to be here, but you're still here. Elijah Moore, Bateman. I love how it ended up being that what's his face? I forget who it even was. That we thought called me a clown. He got put in timeout. He wasn't calling me a clown. He's calling somebody else a clown. Then some guy jumps in, BTG, to defend him. And now BTG's gone. He deuced out because he was defending something that didn't even happen. What's going on here? Elijah Moore, Bateman, and Stevenson for Montgomery, Claypool, Ayuk. Bateman and Stevenson side. Bateman's the best player in the deal, and I just don't love that other side a whole bunch. Problem blessed with a $10 holler. My wife's squad, she wants to upgrade. She says her team is trash when she is 2-0. Hurts, Najee, Connor. Miss Smitty calls her team trash too all the time. It's something to do with like when I don't know. They're just, expectations are a lot higher with Miss Smitty and her team than my team. She's like, I'm just going to cut, so-and-so because he didn't do anything in week 1. I'm like, you got to have a little bit of wiggle room for this player, okay? He's actually a pretty decent player. So 2-0, Hurts, Najee, Connor, JJ, Mike Williams, Higgins, Breece Hall, Goddard. That's a pretty good team. Recommendations would be to get rid of Connor in some kind of deal. I would even go, as far as to say, put Breece Hall in the running back 2 spot and ride a little light there and trade Connor and Goddard for Kyle Pitts is where I'd go. I'm trading for Kyle Pitts in a lot of these scenarios. I think he's a big solution. Problem blessed. I would go do that. I like AJ Brown using maybe Mike Williams right now. And if you got to throw in something else like an Edmonds, I'd get that done. Wait on Walker. Goddard, for Pitts, and then like I said, throw in Connor. So Connor and Goddard for Pitts. You could do that trade. Mike Williams and those are my initial reactions. Trade Chase for Chubb and Brandon Cooks. I think you could argue either side of that. If you need a running back, Chubb is the guy. If you need a wide receiver, let's not act like Chase isn't a top 12 overall pick, just like Nick Chubb right now. Even though Nick Chubb's the number 1 running back, those points are already scored. You got to ask yourself, will he be the number 1 running back going forward? I think he's actually a good sell high. Not that I don't believe Chubb could continue, but I think Chase and Chubb are very close in value for week 3 on, despite what a lot of people I think will say. And I don't blame anybody that wants Chubb over Chase, but I think they're very, very even. So it just kind of depends on your situation there. Rock out Smitty sent you a DM. Okay, I'll check that 1 second. Ryan, love the channel. Full PPR, have Hurts, CMC, Javonte Williams, Higgins, Waddle, Mike Thomas, Kittle. Should I do CMC and Mike Thomas for Mixon and St. Brown? CMC, Mike Thomas for Mixon, St. Brown. I would say CMC and Mike Thomas, and that's saying something given how much given how much of a fan I am of St. Brown. Like, that's hard for me to say no to a St. Brown trade. Burks and Rachaad White are on waivers. Who should I pick up? I pick up Rachaad White over Burks. I don't hate Burks, but I don't know that he's super, super valuable right now. We should be opening the phone lines here in a second. Payne, thank you again for the follow-up super chat. Let's see if there's anything else lingering out there. Hurt season. Move Kelsey for Waddle, Cook, and Ertz. I probably would keep Kelsey, even though Waddle's playing really well. Kelsey's still a tad bit more valuable. D-Town says, my new team name is He's a Clown. That's funny. Love this show. Thank you, Sick. I appreciate you. This live will go down as the Clown Show. It might. Don't disrespect Smitty. Disrespect me. I'm here for it. Vamp's such a trooper. It's like I can take a negative take, but when you can't. What world do you live in? And that BT guy wasn't even like the one that said it. Well, he was not even involved. He was meddling in something he didn't need to meddle in. He's one of those people just wants somebody to be able to Anthony didn't apparently drop the clown emoji toward me. But it's like, I've thick skin, but I also have a show and a flow. You know, there's a reason you're not allowed to swear. It's not because I don't swear. I swear a lot. I curse like a sailor. But I can't have that on my channel because it degrades the feel of the community and the flow of the chat. And it's not so much that a clown emoji toward me offends me all that much. I could care less. But if you allow your chat to go wild and it's not a respectable place, then people don't want to come linger in it. And so that's why you don't have complete freedom to throw clown emojis at your host and expect things to just be fine. Like, I'm here for it. Clown emoji. You're a clown. Okay, now can you answer my fantasy question? Like, what do you expect, bro? What do you expect? And I'm not mad. No one's dragging me down. This is conversation. This is good conversation. And sometimes we need to have it. I agree. Keep this going is distracting the show. It is, Ron, but we got so many other things we talk about all the time. I don't know. Some people don't mind a little breakup of the monotony of everything. But I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Mahomes, AJ Brown, Hollywood, Burrow. I think I got to that one, didn't I, Lucius? You have Mahomes, AJ Brown, Hollywood for Burrow, Jamar, and McLaurin. Burrow, Jamar, McLaurin. Mahomes, AJ Brown, Hollywood. Pretty even. Mahomes, AJ Brown, Hollywood, Burrow, Jamar, McLaurin. I probably take the Burrow side, but it's super close, very arguable. Smitty, you are right. Don't tolerate bullying, trolling. You did the right thing. I know, pal. Appreciate you. Hertz, appreciate your super chat. Robert, Rico, Eduardo, Garrett, okay, so I think I got all these here. 0-2 owner offered me Jefferson for my Waddle and Barkley. Waddle and Barkley are too much. Too much, bro. Okay, Garrett says, anything I should do with my squad? QBs are Wentz, Dak. Running backs are CMC, Kamara, A.J. Dillon, and Walker. Wide receivers are CD, DJ Moore, A.J. Brown, D. Hopkins, Curtis Samuel, and Jameson. Okay, tight end is Kittle. I would say Wentz and Dak. Running backs for CMC, Kamara. I like CMC, Kamara, and A.J. Dillon. That's very, very good. You got Walker on the pine. CD, DJ Moore, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown and CD are pretty darn good wide receivers. I'm going after Kyle Pitts for Kittle. I'll give up something small like Curtis Samuel, and I get that done. Past that, your team's really good, and I let it ride. You got a really good squad. I mean, upgrade CD using maybe Hopkins, maybe CD and Hopkins. Maybe you trade Dillon and CD Lamb for one monster wide receiver upgrade, like an Adams or a Debo, or you try and work your way down a little bit, I suppose. A.J. Brown's a consideration using Dillon and maybe Hopkins. I don't know if I give up CD in that too. DJ Moore and Dillon for A.J. Brown potentially, or Debo. So I like those options. I'm being offered Godwin for Connor. It's kind of like I don't want either one of those players, to be honest with you, bro. But I'd probably take, I guess, Connor because he's an RB, and Godwin I don't trust staying healthy. But either way, I mean, it's probably pretty even. 0-2 traded Eckler, Hunt, Higgins, Lockett, Chase, Gabe Davis, Harris, Freiermuth. Looking to trade Harris and Freiermuth, Deontay, Garrett Wilson for Leonard Fournette, Ertz, and Pierce. Harris, Freiermuth. I'd take the Leonard Fournette Pierce side, and then I'd trade Leonard Fournette higher. I'd trade him on the high. That'd be a good trade. Yeah, that's a good trade. Terry with a super chat here, pal. Smitty, you're the man. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you. Terry's in the chat doing Terry things. Now Anthony's throwing the go to motion. I mean, I don't deserve that, Anthony. Put him in timeout. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I appreciate you, bro. Fields, Mills, Debo, Eckler, Goddard, Swift, Javonte, Cooks, Pierce, Mooney, Malik. I like that. 0-2, and you got, like super flex. Fields and Mills aren't the best quarterbacks, but I think Mills will do better. Fields will do better. They both had bomb games in week 2. They're bad. But Debo, Eckler, Goddard, Swift, Javonte, Cooks, Pierce. You have a really good team. Don't drop Mooney. Malik could be there to the rescue. So keep the faith with that team. Do I give Henry and CD for Kamara and DK? I'd probably take Kamara and DK, to be honest with you, because I don't trust Henry right now. But, you could argue either side. And you could argue Kamara's a bigger risk if he gets ripped from the field. You know what I mean? I need to upgrade Lamar, Najee, Sanders, Diggs, Pittman, Everett, Zeke as my flex. My next men up are Lockett, Elijah Moore. How do I get better? Lockett's got pretty good sell high value right now. Everett's got decent sell high value. Zeke and Lockett for Brees Hall. Zeke and Lockett for, I don't think you'll get an AJ Dillon. You could try Everett and Zeke and Everett and Lockett. Either one of those combinations for Kyle Pitts. That's an easy upgrade there. Sanders and Lockett. Sanders and Zeke for an AJ Dillon potential player is a home run. Najee into an AJ Dillon and Debo, or Najee into Kamara or Eckler or Swift using Zeke. Those are all ideas I think I would roll with. A $10 holler from Robert. $10 holler to the moon, Robert. Robert says, traded Cook for Javonte Williams and Montgomery. I like that. I like Javonte straight up. So you got an extra player. I think that was an excellent move. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. Thank you very much. Come to think of it, I feel like I've seen Anthony's name. Anthony, I'm sorry if I didn't give you the benefit of the doubt. I think I remember seeing Anthony's name, in hindsight. I think I've seen him ask a lot of good questions and be a good follower. So I think I maybe caused all that. But what do you expect when someone's live streaming for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time? They get a little delirious. Like we said earlier, it's like being in the desert. There's a little bit of confusion there, but then we had somebody else step up and try to defend the confusion. Bro, I'm subbed to your website. Okay, Anthony. Now I feel bad. I feel bad. Anthony, email me after this. I'll make it up to you. I'm sorry, bro. But definitely don't call anybody clowns in the chat, because that confuses matters. How do you guys feel about Bateman and Henderson for Waddle? Yeah, I'd take Waddle, to be honest. I'd take Waddle. That's a pretty good move. WAP says, who am I starting, Michael Thomas or Brandon Cooks? I'd start Michael Thomas, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. Are you starting Devontae Smith or Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts until Devontae proves himself. Please grade my team. It's a little long, Jones. I'm going to glance at it. I have MT, CD, and Sutton's. My wide receivers, running backs, Najee Harris, Damian Harris. Damian Harris and Sutton for A.J. Dillon. CD and Damian Harris for A.J. Brown. MT and Damian Harris for Debo. Just kind of things I'm thinking. Let's see here. Why do you hate... Nick says, why do you hate me today out of all the days I need you? This is the part that cracks me up, is when someone... No offense, Nick. Don't take this the wrong way. Someone complains about me not getting to their chat, their question, and they could have had it right here. This is the question I'm reading, and now I don't have Nick's question. And he just wasted his opportunity. Nick, ask it again, and I'll do my very best to answer it. JT, trade Henderson and Hollywood Brown for Cordero Patterson. I think it's too much for Cordero. Henderson's already kind of doing Cordero things, and then you get Hollywood involved. I'd probably say it's a little too much. I would do Hendy straight up for him if you like him. Poor Anthony. Anthony got caught up in something. It looks like it was a little confusing because even Terry was confused. Terry timed him out. So it was bad placement of the clown emoji, I think, Anthony, if I had to guess. I was thinking that just don't know who to target. Okay, Corey, appreciate you. Think I could package Lamb plus Carter for anything. I don't think Carter... That's like saying, can I put a Tic Tac... with this $10 bill and go buy something more with a single Tic Tac. I don't know. Michael Carter's okay. I don't mean to disrespect Michael Carter, but I don't know that he's buying you any kind of, I'll throw in Michael Carter. Then we'll get a deal done. Let's take the gloves off. You know what I'm saying? So I try and go after Higgins. Try that for Higgins. I just subscribed looking at the trade Diggs for Kamara and A.J. Brown. Diggs, I'd take Kamara and A.J. Brown in a heartbeat for Diggs. Let me see if here's Nick's question. Nick, I got you right here, pal. CD, Swift, Knox for Cup, Pitts. Wow, that's a good one. I mean, so Cup and Pitts, Cup and Swift are really close, but Cup's ranked higher. So let's take them out of the equation and say, okay, you got a little bit of a advantage on the Cup side. So now CD and Knox versus Pitts. I think the Cup Pitts side wins, but it's very close. It's very close because CD and Knox maybe outweighs Kyle Pitts potentially. So does Cup outweigh Swift enough to make it just a wash, kind of? But I lean Cooper Kupp and Kyle Pitts because I just don't know how much I trust CD Lamb, and Pitts is such an upgrade in my opinion over Dawson Knox. But I could go back and forth on that one. I was asking for grading my trade, Smitty, but thank you. Ryan, let me see. I think I could package Lamb. Okay, Ryan, let me go see your question. Where's Ryan's question? Please grade my PPR trade. Okay, sorry. Gabe Davis and Miles Sanders and got Gainwell off. So traded Pittman for Gabe Davis and Miles Sanders. I'd rather have Pittman, but not by that much. Like, Gabe Davis is really good. Miles Sanders is okay. I'm not a big Miles Sanders fan. I'm not seeing the value that everybody else is. Tyler, appreciate your super chat, Tyler. Thanks again, Ryan. Appreciate your super chat. Your follow-up on that. Thank you very much. Damian Pierce for Cordero Patterson. I'd rather have Damian Pierce, believe it or not. I know a lot of people might disagree with me, but that's just how I roll. Let's see here. Terry Roberts, Smitty, I gave you a 20 spot earlier, pal. You did? Where did this go? I'm sorry, Terry. Tyler, appreciate you. Let me go find Terry's super chat real quick. Another chat question. How do we feel about CMC for Swift and Amon-Ra? Take Swift and Amon-Ra over CMC in a heartbeat, bro. Like, that's not even close in my mind. That's really, really far apart in value. Tyler, thank you for your super chat. Ryan, appreciate you. Tyler, thank you again. Diego, think I could package Lamb. I got that one. Thank you, Diego. JT, appreciate you. I don't see your... Hold on, I'm looking for it, bro. I appreciate you dropping that. Kirkwood says... Did I get to... Oh, here they are. They were back-to-back, and they like slid in after. I don't know why. Rillo, I got Rillo's. Terry Roberts with a $20 holler.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Terry Roberts dropping the 20 spot. Terry, appreciate you. Terry's on patrol. 12 team Superflex 0-2 trade suggestions fields. Oh, I did get to that one. I got that one. Okay. This one here is Hendy AJ Brown for Aaron Jones. I like Aaron Jones a little bit more, but it's arguable for sure. Tyler, advice for people who own Aaron Jones and Dylan. You could sell high on Aaron Jones. I would go after an Eckler, and diversify a little bit. Eckler, I would maybe take a Kamara and something, but you deserve more because Aaron Jones is dropping fire right now. So I would go for Eckler, though. I really would. And if you can get more, but that's not a bad move. I think Aaron Jones is pretty good, though. Like, you don't have to run away from that. It's good value. And if Aaron Jones falters or something, then you have that backed up. So I don't know that I'm too scared about owning both of them, but I think that is an opportunity for you if you want to get out of it. Who Dat says Hendy AJ Brown for Aaron Jones. Hendy, I think I already said Aaron Jones by a slight amount, and that goes to play into the Aaron Jones value. Top Gun, Schultz and Evans for CD. Your thoughts? I'd take Schultz and Evans, I suppose, because I think Evans is better value than CD without Dak. And even when Dak comes back, I'm not too sure how I feel about everything. Anthony says, should I trade Jefferson for Chubb and Mike Williams? Jefferson for Chubb and Mike Williams. I'd probably keep... Your running back 2 is Dylan with Mitchell injured. What does the chat think? Can we get a vote here for Anthony and make it up to Anthony and get him some good group think here? Jefferson or Chubb and Mike Williams? Can we get a vote, please? Can we get a vote, please? I appreciate it. Devontae Smith, Allen Robinson for Kenneth Walker. I'd probably rather have Kenneth Walker just for the upside alone. But, I mean, you're probably giving up a lot there. Can we get a vote on this one for Anthony? He deserves it. Tyler with another super chat. Tyler, I'll look for your question. Thank you, buddy boy. Appreciate you. Jefferson side, 1 vote. Should I trade Chase for Henry? No, I would trade Henry for Chase. JJ, Chase. We got a bunch of JJs, Anthony. JJ side. That's kind of how I feel anyway. Confirmation. Wide receiver 2 flex. Pittman needs to be starting. Your 2 flexes, in my opinion, are going to be Garrett Wilson and either Cooks or Hunt. Probably lean Hunt, I suppose. JJ. James with the super chat. 1 wide receiver. Oh, that's the one I just did. Thank you, James. All right, guys. It's I'm gonna end it not early as 2 hours. We were supposed to only go about an hour and a half, but I'm gonna end it early. I'll try and come back on for a Q&A tonight. Appreciate all your super chats. Thank you all. Sorry, Anthony. I owe Anthony an apology. Appreciate everybody in here, and I will see you all probably tonight. And we'll break as much news as we can tomorrow. I feel like tomorrow might be a live stream, emergency live stream. You know what I'm saying? ABOZ, if it pleases the court. How do I fix this? Burrow, Wentz, Javonte Patterson, Breece Hall. You got to wait on Breece. Chase is fine. Debo's good. A-Rob and Patterson for an A.J. Dillon. A-Rob and Patterson for a Higgins, potentially. A-Rob and Patterson. I don't know if you could reach as high as an A.J. Brown. That's kind of where I start. Go get Kyle Pitts, unless you had Kyle Pitts. I don't think you did. And this final super chat, and then we're out of here, was offer Kamara, DJ Moore for Swift, Sutton, but no way, right? For Kamara and DJ Moore for Swift and Sutton. Yes, no way. Swift and Sutton side by a mile. Rockout says his DM. I'm sorry, Rockout. 1 second. Rockout, here we go.
Free Javonte. Free. Free Javonte. Free, yeah. Free Javonte. Free, yeah. Free Javonte. Free. He a baller, shot caller. He be going like a make $1,000. Preaching to your choir, breaking in the game out. He be like he's game out. He's so official, referee with a visual. He be coming through the pack, come in motion every time.
I don't know how he does it.
Whole straight grind every time. You give him opportunity, he will shine. But give him the ball at the goal line.
I don't know how he comes up with that stuff on the fly. He's like Harry Mack. You know, you guys know who Harry Mack is? This might be Harry Mack. I don't know. Have you ever seen Rockout and Harry Mack in the same room? I haven't. Okay, NPR, here we go. QB, Allen, Gibson, Singletary, Hunt, Dobbins, wide receivers, Kupp, Mike Williams, Bateman, Godwin, Olave, Kelsey, and Higbee. Very running back needy. Thoughts on Kelsey for Swift straight up? I would take Kelsey for Swift straight up. Or take Swift for Kelsey straight up. I would draft Swift over Kelsey. That's me. I know some people wouldn't. But I would. So, yeah, go punch that trade, NPR. It gets you a running back and I draft Swift over him, you know. So, anyway. All right. I appreciate every single one of you. I will see you all later. I'm live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday. I'm also live whenever news breaks, so make sure you know that, especially I feel like tomorrow we're going to get one of those breaking news videos, so subscribe. Appreciate you all. I will see you all potentially, not for sure, but potentially tonight. Make sure you go watch the Panic Chamber Week 3 and the Waiver Wire Week 3. Tomorrow we drop the Buy Low, Sell High video. Get ready for it. Appreciate you. See you later. I need your help. 0-2, 12 team. Should I make any moves? Russell Wilson, Mixon, Kamara, Hall, Pierce, Pittman, A-Rob, Bateman. Try and trade Bateman and Mixon for Eckler. Bateman and Mixon for, I don't know, CMC maybe. And if you don't want to do that, I mean, A-Rob and, or Bateman and let's see. I don't know. That's what I do. I would probably do that. A-Rob's not very tradable. I need Bateman and Russell Wilson for a big quarterback upgrade. Go get who's your tight end? Logan Thomas. Go get Kyle Pitts, bro. I'm telling you, this is the last time you're gonna be able to get Kyle Pitts. It's cheap, I think. Peace out, Anthony. Appreciate you. Adolfo, appreciate you. Ron Navy in the building still. Free Pickett. Free Javonte. Free Breece Hall. Free Kenneth Walker. Free ETN. Hurts for Pitts. It depends on your situation. Right now, Hurts has more value. Know what I'm saying, broski? But, I mean, depends on the situation. Mashed potatoes. That's right, living legend. Hoovy. I agree with Adolfo on its face. Trading Hurts just doesn't sound like a winning formula. But I do want Kyle Pitts, but I don't know what you got at your quarterback spot. You got someone like You know, I don't know. Even if it's a good, decent backup like Carr, I still wouldn't do it. Free Smitty, get some dinner out of boy. Peace out, everybody. Appreciate you all.